Hello folks, and welcome to Real Estate Q&A with Greg Delane. I'm your host. Today on the show I have a special guest, somebody that I've known for quite a while, that's been in the business before I got into the business. We worked at the same office together, and I want to introduce you to Terri Crozier.
Hello.
Hi Terri, how are you?
Hi Greg.
I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you, I'm glad you asked.
Terri, everybody, well, I can't say everybody, I know you as the twin team. You have a twin sister, Toni.
Correct.
And can you tell us a little bit about Houlihan and Lawrence?
Sure. Toni and I worked at Houlihan Lawrence. Toni Krista, we're identical twins. We call ourselves the twin team. That's how we market ourselves. We've been at Houlihan Lawrence for about probably close to 4 years now. Prior to that, we were at Century 21. I worked there for 28 years. I've been in the business. Toni and I teamed up to be a team in real estate, probably one of the first teams in this area back in probably almost 20 years ago. So together, we sell real estate in Westchester. Currently working at Houlihan Lawrence, which is one of the largest independent real estate companies in the area.
Excellent. When you say you've been in the business 28 years, Terri, I maybe you folks don't know, but back then you could get your real estate license when you were 12. Terri, you certainly, you're gorgeous, so it makes me want 28 years. I mean,
yeah, 28 years. Started in 1984.
Yeah.
And, have a very successful career. Love the business, love being with people, love meeting new people every day. It's a challenging business right now with the way the market is, but it's fun. Every day is a fun day, and a different day. It's a different day.
Sure, I think I talk to a lot of people that say they want to get into real estate, and I tell them this is a profession, and that it is simple, but it's not easy.
Right.
And what you need to have is patience and consistent action.
Absolutely.
Patience and consistent action. So where's your office?
Our office is located in White Plains. The office that I work out of is at 237 Mamaroneck Avenue. Mm-hmm. And Toni, my sister, right now is the education coordinator for Houlihan Lawrence, so she's doing a combination of the real estate and also training and coordinating the training. Houlihan Lawrence has a huge training center. Mm-hmm. They are on top of the internet, on top of everything going on in the business. They are cutting edge, keeping their agents really abreast and on top of the changing market. I mean, they are really ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. I tell people that, of course I own a real estate company, but you have to go, when you want to get into real estate, you have to go to experience is the difference.
Yes.
And you got to go to some place that's experienced. I came real close to thinking about, when I left Century 21, going to another office. I've only been Century 21, then Delane Realty, and now Next Stage, but Houlihan and Lawrence they have captured quite a bit of the market.
They have.
I see your name everywhere, but I think that there's enough out here for everybody.
Right.
The real professionals. Now, what is your opinion about the market right now?
I think in certain areas the market is very strong. I mean, some of our offices have had probably the best years, believe it or not, in the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. I think it's challenging with the mortgage changes, the regulation, and everything coming through the internet right now. It's a whole different business than it was when I started back in '84, and even 5 years ago. It's a whole different business. I mean, you really have to. That's why education is so important to our agents, because everything changes so quickly.
Yes.
From day to day with different internet sites, and just how you capture the buyers and how you capture the sellers. So you really have to be in it 100%. and getting educated every day on anything new that's coming up, because things are changing that quickly.
Absolutely, and people want answers in real time.
Right.
With these things that we carry on our hip now.
Absolutely.
We're always at work, and I have people that call me, and if I happen to answer the phone at 9:30 at night, they have a real estate question, like, well, you were supposed to call me earlier in the office, but they have a question then, and I think these cell phones make people feel that if you answer your phone, you're at work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's really important, because I think a lot of people have gotten away from the personal touch and actually being connected with people because of the internet. You're emailing, you're texting, and that's really the new way of doing business. However, I find picking up the phone and actually speaking to somebody makes a huge difference and really gives you the edge over other people. Making that personal contact and that relationship. The relationship is really the main focus in real estate. No matter how we get our business, it's all about relationships.
Absolutely. I remember when we were both at Century 21, and I don't want to call this person out. I don't do that. But I remember somebody when they were running the technical or the website or the internet part of our business, and I remember this person telling me that they were going to be a top producer because of him being on. I said, people want to see you.
Right.
You have to go and sit down and look somebody in the eye, and this is the biggest decision of their life, to sell a house. But outside of marriage and children, purchasing a home is probably one of the biggest financial decisions you'll make. And do you think that somebody's going to make that decision because you sent them a real slick email? Well,
No.
you got to sit down. You have to have some background and some credibility, and your reputation precedes you.
Right, and that reputation is huge. You don't stay in a business for 28 years without having a good reputation. And one of the things that Tony and I like to do is, again, keep our buyers and sellers informed, stay on top of, phone calls and that type of thing.
Yeah, you have to. All right. Let me ask you this. When we were at Century 21, when I started there, it is now a Dunkin' Donuts, but it was a little small office. And I remember when I first started, I had to sit outside at that little bench, and they had a cell phone because it was so crowded in there. And we used to have these big books. I should have brought a couple.
The MLS books.
The MLS books. And you had to look, the world of real estate then was, if I had a message, I had to physically drive to the office, look on this big board that had slots in it, get my messages, sit down and make the call. Today it's a whole nother world.
It is. It's a whole nother world. And that's why the business is changing so quickly. And there are, I would say more men coming into the business, younger people coming into the business. If you're not technology savvy, you're not going to be in the business. You really have to have the phones. You have to have the emails, you have to have the websites, you have to have all of that in order to be successful today.
Now, Houlihan and Lawrence does great training
Absolutely,
on that.
Great training. They provide everything, all the tools that our realtors need to do business, be successful. They have it. Their main focus is, giving you the tools to do the business you need to do. And it's changing daily. Like I said, they are on top of things. They continually change the website, change the contact systems that we're using. They give you everything that you need to really promote yourself and your business. And if you want to work, you can make money. You can, no matter what market you're in, you can always do well. It's all a matter of how much time you want to put into it, how much effort you put into it.
Sure, I think
you can
everybody
make money in any marketplace.
They have to find their niche. Everybody has to find their niche. And recently, I've been running into people that are doing property management. The market kind of tanked 4 or 5 years ago because of the subprime lending, 100% financing. But I feel, Terry, that was a good thing, if there was any good thing out of it, because it got a lot of the part-time people, the untrained people out of our business.
Absolutely.
And so the real people that stayed in this business and do it well stayed in the business.
Absolutely.
And,
That's absolutely true.
Wow. So if you want to get into a good office, now this is an open forum. People know I own a company, but it doesn't matter to me. Anybody can come on my show and promote their company. If you're starting out, new agent, I think Houlihan and Lawrence has tremendous training. You contact Terry, you call that office, and if this is, I had an appetite for real estate and for sales, so it was easier for me.
Right.
So sometimes people come in and they're a little scared about saying things. They need that kind of training. Me, and
they require you to take the training. They require you to learn the systems before you can, actually, unless you're an experienced veteran agent, that's a different story. But they still want you to learn their system.
And they have great commission splits?
Yes.
Okay, that's
I guess I don't know. I'm not part of that.
That's negotiable. I say all the
you'd
time
have to talk to them. I don't know anything about what they do with people.
But everything in life, except for life, is negotiable. You can negotiate on a home. You can negotiate on your commission. You can go buy a car and negotiate how much you pay for it. The only thing in this life that's not negotiable is life. And when that happens, it's time. All right. I want to ask you, see, every time I look in the paper, we have a paper, an in-depth paper. Every time I look in there, you're in there. But that's a good thing.
Yes.
Terri, what I want to say first, let me read off some of the stuff that Terri has done. Terri is currently the Women's Council of Realtors Empire Westchester Chapter President of 2012. Terri served as Women's Council of Realtors Empire Westchester Chapter President-elect 2011. Terri is involved in the Women's Council of Realtors, serves as the treasurer from 2009 to 2010. She's a graduate of the Management Orbit series at Century 21. She worked at Century 21 with Nick Wolf on Mamaroneck Avenue, where I was at. Listen, the show, we're out of time. The show's over. She's done so much. Terri, can you speak to me a little bit about the Women's Council?
Absolutely. Women's Council I have a passion for right now, and I've been involved with the organization for many years before I was on the governing board as treasurer, as president-elect and president. The mission statement for the Women's Council is we are a network of successful realtors empowering women to exercise their potential to be entrepreneurs and leadership leaders. So basically the goal of Women's Council is to educate, help women to become leaders and entrepreneurs. And, the values of Women Council, again, are the power of relationships, which is huge, professional credibility. Most of the women in Women's Council have, and it's women and men, I'm sorry, there's about 10% of our members are men. It's not all women, even though it is called Women's Council, are successful professional women. They've been in the business over 10 years. It's a great organization. It's a national organization. The diversity, the participation, and the success and influence are some of the values. Some of our goals are our goal is to actually educate our realtors with current and relevant education, what's going on in the market today. So every month we have a business resource meeting, which has been attended by close to 100 people every meeting that we have. We just had one this past week, which was Taste of Technology, in reference to technology, and was very well attended. Speaking on the phones, the different types of phones, the different types of tablets, and how to utilize them in your business. So that was extremely successful. So we have a whole calendar lined up for this year. There's a governing board. I have some great officers and committee people that it's a team effort. Right now we're at about 106 members. We have about 24 sponsors for the year. So this year really proves to be a very successful year. I'm very excited. I'm privileged to be the president.
Now, you're the president of this chapter. How many chapters is it?
There are 300 chapters.
Wow.
In all of the United States. There's 16,000 members. Women's Council has been an organization since 1934. And our particular chapter here, Empire Westchester, has been a chapter since 1974, which is a long time, like 30 years, over 30 years.
Wow.
And every year, there's a new president, and every year is different. We have a great momentum going. My sister Toni was actually president for 2 years prior, 2009 and 10. And then last year I was president-elect, and this year the president. So, the governing board moves up, as they can. there's travel involved to the New York State and national conventions, because we're one of the largest women's organizations, the 10th largest women's organization as part of NAR. We're one of NAR's affiliates. So whenever they travel, they do their national and their state events. Women's Council is all part of that.
Now, if somebody's watching the show right now and they want to look up Women's Council, do they have a website?
Absolutely.
What's the website?
www.wcr.org is the national website, and that's where you can go to get all the information to become a member. And then we have a local website, which is wcrempirenewyork.com. And that's where all our calendar is, all our leaderships, people, our governing board, our events that are coming up, and it's posted every month. You can go right online and pay for the event. Our next event that is coming up is going to be at the Ritz, which is March 12th. Yay! And it's going to be trials and tribulations of getting your deal to the closing table for condos and co-ops. So we have a renowned panel that's going to be on, about a panel of 6 people.
Are there any problems with getting your deal to the closing? I thought they just...
At condos and co-ops, sometimes you have some problems,
Yeah.
So again, we're educating the realtors, men and women in the business. It seems to be an organization that people want to belong to. I mean, I've got people calling me all the time, coming to our meetings, becoming sponsors, because the sponsors help us to do our events. And it is bringing value to the membership. This year we've added a couple of new things, scholarships. We're going to be giving away a $500 travel scholarship and education, Women's Council education.
That's great.
And Entrepreneur of the Year. We have Sponsor of the Year. So,
who was Sponsor of the Year last year?
Last year, Stephanie Liggio of Judicial Title.
Really?
Yeah, and the year before was Pat Sposato.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to put you on the spot.
Oh, it's okay.
You just called it right up.
I did.
That is wonderful, and I think since the market took such a dramatic change, it is important that everybody has to help everybody. When I first got into business, Terry, even though Century 21 had great training, I didn't get a lot of help, individually from people in the office, because, why help your competition?
Right.
And I remember they had areas that you couldn't mail to because that people said, well, this is my area. And I said, well...
Yeah, and it's different now. It's
things
not
have
like
changed.
that anymore. Yeah, it's a whole different. And that's why educating, is so important, keeping everybody abreast of what's going on in the current conditions right now, because they change so frequently.
Yeah.
I just want to mention our next event, too, in May, which is our Runway Magic, is our fashion show, which it's a fundraiser. And
are you going to be in the fashion show?
I am not in the fashion show because I will be, speaking.
Is Tony going to be in it?
No, she isn't. But we have all realtors that will be, or sponsors, all members. Last year was attended by about 225 people. We were able to give $10,000 away, part to Grace Church, and the main was to the Coalition for the Hungry and Homeless. So this year our fundraiser is all going to the Coalition of the Hungry and Homeless, at least.
That's great.
Majority of it will be going
When I
there.
was at Century 21, I worked at Grace Church as a client care counselor right on Post Road with the homeless for about 3 years. I had to do something else besides, and I was able to work. I was working overnights so that I would drive the guys in vans to different churches where they slept. And I was able to work from 9 to 6 in the morning, and then I was in the office. Like about 10. Yeah.
So we also, do fundraising events. And,
that's great.
Yeah. So it's a great, like I said, a great organization. That's what I'm mainly involved with right now, with, also selling the real estate. But it also, the relationships, the networking.
Great networking.
Unbelievable networking. And that's what I think most people do like about our organization is being able to network.
Well, Gil
with
and
the top of the real estate community, because that's who really are members of our organization, are really the people the cream of the crop, the people that do the business. That's a big difference.
Did you hear that? The cream of the crop. I like that. Now, when Gail and I came to the last meeting that we attended, it was in Armonk.
Right.
And I didn't have enough business cards.
You didn't? Good. See? Yeah.
I was handing them out, meeting a lot of people, and saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in a long time.
That was with Richard Haggerty, which he does our legal update for our board. He's
Rich
now the
was there.
CEO.
Ed Sumner.
Yep, Ed Sumner was our legal counsel. Exactly.
Where's the camera? Get the camera on. Can you get the camera right here? There's
That's right.
Terry right there with Ed and Rich. Yeah. So listen, I'm so proud of what you do, and there is a.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, there's a biblical mandate that to whom much is given, much is expected, and for your organization to help the homeless and do things for people, that it can only help you grow. You know,
Yes,
and that's
absolutely.
it's so important. Let me ask you this: now, can Tony come back and be president again, or is this like the United States presidency? You can't come back and be the
They
president.
can recycle, as they call it, but it
Really?
doesn't happen very often. You want to get new people involved and new,
Sure.
new ideas. And so, I mean, that's why when I started as president, I had my officers and my board together,
Yes.
and I hope to move them all up. One of my goals this year is to get them to travel to the state and national events, because you totally see a whole different picture of what the organization is about, and you become so passionate. I'm so passionate about it because there's so much that they offer for the realtors here to, for doing your business better,
Sure,
and growing. So actually Monday we have in Albany is the New York State SAR Convention, and I have 5 of my officers coming with me up there. So it's going to be.
I don't
Great.
want you. Maybe you'll have to answer this question after the show. But who did you beat out? Who
Oh,
ran
nobody.
against you?
No. There's
not
no,
a voting.
No, not really. Oh, well, there's people that.
I'm trying to start
No.
controversy. I shouldn't do that. I think you're doing a fantastic job, and I know that you were always helpful to me when I was at Century 21, and I see you all the time. You always have a great smile, and I see you so much in the paper. I don't envy at all. I admire. When I see people doing great things and helping people, that's what it's all about.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
We're
I
only
enjoy it.
here for a cup of coffee, and while you're here, you got to help some people. One other question about the Women's Council.
Yes.
What does it cost to join?
Okay, as a member, it's $145 for the year.
For the year?
For the year.
Oh, I
And-
thought it was once a month.
No, well, you pay for the event. Like at the Ritz, you're going to pay, actually, it's a brunch. It's going to be $35 to our members, so it's kind of a discounted price that we're able to get at. And we go to a different venue every month. So, as you said, you were in Armonk in January. We were just at Mount Kisco. We try and go around the whole county so that all the members, don't always have to come south where I happen to be, but we try and get everybody into different places, nice restaurants, nice country clubs, so it just makes it even a better event to go to different locations. And
Well,
so it's $145, and for that, I mean, next month's event in April is the Elder Care. We're going to the Kensington. That's going to be just for members only, and that's going to be a free event.
for the Elder Care.
Yeah, the Elder Care, the Kensington and White Plains.
I'm almost there. No, I'm almost there. You guys are going to become helping me soon. I do want to say this, that Terry is very successful in the real estate business, and you have to follow. You're only as good as who's teaching you this business. And in our industry, you want to find somebody that you would like to be like, and you don't want to be exactly like anybody. Everybody has their own niche, but if you can just grab a little bit from each person and formulate your own style. But certainly Terry and Tony have been so successful in this business, and they're known everywhere. Everywhere. Mm-hmm. But it comes, I don't think it's hard for you. I think it's easy for you.
Yeah. Well, when you enjoy what you do,
it's not work.
It's not work. It's fun. I get up every day and look for that challenge that day, whatever it brings. It's
I remember when Gail and I saw you in Armonk, and time flies so fast. Your daughter. And I don't want to talk ages on this program. You can say hi to her. What's her name again?
Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. Where's the camera? Hello, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Me and your mom are on TV.
And I have a son too, Jason.
Jason.
Can't forget Jason.
But I remember when they were like.
Yeah, and
kids.
I have 3 granddaughters now. My oldest is 14, 10, and 7. So
You see,
all
listen,
in White Plains still, and they're
Listen,
very
folks.
involved in sports.
Terry got her license when she was 10. So I
Pretty close.
guess they keep your hands full.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm busy with so many other things. I wish I could spend more time with them, truthfully.
Wait a minute. You had a pug.
I have 3 pugs.
You had a pug when I was there. You only had one then.
Yeah, well,
He's
they
not
multiplied.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Well, we have about 2 minutes. You see the clock? We got 2 minutes and 22
okay,
seconds.
so that did go quick.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
I want to give a shout out to the New York Giants. My last show was on the 17th, and I predicted that New England would beat, who was it? They beat the Baltimore Ravens, and it would be another repeat of the New York Giants and New England, and the Giants won.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Fantastic
All the way
game.
to that last throw.
You know,
right?
that was a fantastic game, and I watched those games all the way to the end anyway because I'm in so many football pools.
Ooh.
And I didn't win anything.
Me neither. I had a 2 in my number, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, which is that's safety.
I was so proud of the Giants. They did a fantastic job. Now, before we go, I want you to give the website again. For the Women's Council and your website for Houlihan and Lawrence.
Well, it's a T. Crozier at Houlihan Lawrence, or the Twin Team. But we go by T. Crozier or T. Crystal at Houlihan Lawrence.
Okay.
The website for Women's Council is the national is WCR.org, and our local website is WCR New York WCR EmpireNewYork.com.
Okay.
And we also have a Facebook page too. We get a lot out there on Facebook. We have quite a number of members now in our group.
Now, will Houlihan and Lawrence teach a brand new agent how to do all that social media stuff?
Yes.
And there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn.
Yep, there's all.
Yeah.
You got to be all part of it. Otherwise, like I said.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I think you've been a fantastic guest on my show.
We
go way back.
Yes,
and
we do.
We got to have you back on the show. I would like to have some other women council people on here.
Oh, great.
And have a group, because this show is open to whoever. It has to be real estate involved, but if you are a title person, attorney, you can come on the show. This is an open show. It's not about me, it's about we.
Right.
And you come on the show, and I think it's great advertisement to get your name out there. And let people know about...
all our board members are from different offices. They're all scattered around the county. And our sponsors are all in related businesses, mortgage, title, inspectors, everything. So that would be great.
All right. Well, Terri, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Greg.
All right.
Okay.